This is example 1 from the PowerPoint. It says, what volume in liters does 0.527 milligrams of mercury occupy? So we're trying to go from milligrams, which is a unit of mass, to liters, which is a unit of volume. And anytime you're trying to go between mass and volume, you're going to need a density, because density is what relates mass and volume. So I did give you a density. I gave you a density of 13.534 grams per centimeters cubed. Now, some people, when they do conversion problems like this, they will use the formula density equals mass over volume. If you want to use that, that's fine. But the way I like to do these is I like to treat my densities as a conversion factor. So what this density means is, if I had 1 centimeter cubed of mercury, I'd have 13.534 grams. Right? And a centimeter cubed is the same as a milliliter. So it means that if I had 1 milliliter, I would also have 13.534 grams. Right? So I can use this conversion factor to convert between milliliters, which is a volume, and grams, which is a mass. Right? So I'm starting off with 0.527 milligrams of mercury. So before I can apply this conversion factor, I'm going to need to convert these milligrams into grams. For every 1 gram, there are 1,000 milligrams. So if I did the math right now, milligrams would cancel out, and I get an answer in terms of grams of mercury. But that's not what I want. So I'm going to add another conversion factor. Grams needs to go on the bottom, so that grams is going to cancel out, and 1 milliliter on the top. If I did the math right now, I get an answer in terms of milliliters of mercury, but the problem is asking for liters. So I'm going to add one more conversion factor. In every 1 liter, there are 1,000 milliliters. I'm going to cross out my units. I always, before I pull out my calculator and do my final numbers, I always like to cross out my units and make sure that I'm going to get an answer in the units that I want. So milligrams and milligrams cancel, grams and grams, milliliters and milliliters. Only units left are liters, which is what the question's asking for. So then I get out my calculator, and the answer I get here is 3.89 times 10 to the negative 8 liters.